Good morning, First Baptist Church. I'd like to say that I'm very pleased to be able to share a practice with the women of First Baptist Church. I want to make sure that you get a nice practice in with me. So I wanted to say hello to all the queens. I want to thank you for taking the time to practice yoga. So let's come together in our cross-leg pose. When you're ready, I'd like for us to make our way onto our mats. And then let's get ready to begin our practice with our breath work. So let's come into our cross-leg pose. Rest your hands on top of your knees, and we're going to begin with our breath. You see, the breath is the foundation of any style of yoga. Everything begins with the breath, which is really a beautiful concept. When you think about the book of Genesis and you think about how breath was breathed into this form, this formation of what's from the earth, and how this was formed to make Adam, and through the breath of life, Adam was able to receive a living soul. He was able to become a living soul. So the breath is very important for us to recognize and just to be grateful for. So let's begin by sitting tall. I want you to create space for us to belly breathe. So why is belly breathing so important? It's because when we say belly breathing, we really are talking about using the diaphragm for your breath work. And that's what I want us to be able to do. So let's do this. Let's get a little bit closer. So I want you to make sure that you have a very intimate position. So I want you to sit nice and tall. And when you breathe in, let's press the belly out. And then when we exhale, we're going to draw the belly in. So I'd like for us to really begin to steer the breath with the belly instead of the chest. So I want you to breathe in and fill up, press out. Exhale, release, and draw the belly in towards your spine. Good. And I want you to continue with these slow belly breaths, even closing the eyes. And the reason why we close the eyes is because I really want you to take away any distractions. We're just trying to focus on our breath and our practice. So let's continue, eyes closed, belly leading the breath. I want you to take your time breathing in. And take even more time releasing the breath, breathing out. And give me one more belly breath, breathing in, pressing out and away. Exhale, releasing and drawing the belly in. Very good. Now let's put some movement with our breathing. On your next inhale, let's lift up your shoulders. Exhale, roll them back. So we're going to warm up the body. We're starting with the shoulders, lifting up and rolling back. I want you to give me two more. Lift up and roll. Excellent. One more. Circle up and back. And then we're going to rest the shoulders with a belly breath here. Breathing deeply here. Exhale, release. Very nice. And then I want you to lift your shoulders again, this time to roll them forward. So we're going to circle in the opposite direction. Good. Give me two more. Up and forward. Good. And then one more. Circle forward. Very nice. On your next inhale, I'd like for us to stretch out the arms wide. We're going to bend into the elbows and bring the fingertips to your shoulders. Let's keep the fingers here and pick the elbows up, pointing the elbows to the ceiling. Very nice. Now, I'd like for us to take the elbows down, back, and around. So we're circling the elbows wide. Good. Give me two more. Down and around. Excellent. And then one more. Down and around. Very good. Now I'd like for you to point your elbows down to the mat. And this time lift and circle in the opposite direction. Let's do two more. Up and around. Good. One more. Circle round. Very good. Let's point the elbows out to the side. I want you to unfold your arms, and then we're going to plant in your right hand and reach your left arm straight up into the air. We're going to take this arm in the air and let it fall back, opening the chest. Excellent job. Now we're going to lift up this arm. Very good. Now let's try that again. Let's take your arm back, but this time I want you to circle your arm down and around so we can make these big wide circles with our arm, reaching through the fingertips. Give me two more. And one more. Very good. We're going to come back to the center. Keep the arms reaching out. I want you to plant into your hand. And this time it's the right arm reaching straight up. I want you to take this arm in the air, let it fall back, opening the chest. And then I want you to lift up your arm. Good. Let's take your arm back down and around, circling wide, reaching through the fingertips. Give me two more. And one more. Very good. I want you to come back to the center. Keep the arms out. Let's plant in the right hand. Lean to the right and draw your arm near your ear. Feel that side body stretch. And then I'd like for us to rainbow the arms up and over to the other side, leaning and reaching into it. Excellent. Let's keep going from side to side, getting closer to the floor and deeper in the pose. Good. Now when we come back over to this other side, I'd like for us to stay for two deep belly breaths. So we're going to keep reaching, keep breathing. 2 breaths here. One more belly breath. Excellent job. Let's rainbow the arms up and over to the other side. I want you to plant in this forearm, reach this arm up and over. 2 breaths here. One more belly breath. Very good. Let's go ahead and rainbow the hands and rest them on top of the knees. I'd like for us to sit tall, breathing in deeply here. Exhale, release. Excellent job. So let's take the back of your right hand against your lower back. Wrap your hand around your right knee. Hold on tight and then turn to look over your shoulder. So I want you to feel this deep twist. And we're pressing away from the knee to deepen a little bit more. Let's take a deep belly breath here. Exhale, release. Very good. Now we're going to turn and face back center. Let's do the same thing on the other side. Back of the hand to the lower back. Wrap your hand around your knee. Hold on tight. Turn to look over the shoulder. Feel this deep twist. And give me one more breath. Breathing deeply here. Exhale, release. Very good. Now we're going to turn and face back center. Hands on the knees. Another belly breath here. Exhale, release. Very good. So we have just completed our warm-up. I'd like to set our intention for our practice. So today's intention is keeping our peace. And we're going to use yoga, the movement of yoga, to help us to keep our peace. These are turbulent times. And we really have to make an intentional effort to keep our peace. So come on and join me. We're going to start this process in our tabletop. I want you to swing the legs around. Come on to your hands and knees for tabletop. And once we get into tabletop, I'd like for us to work a little bit more on the spine. So when we're in tabletop, we're going to work the spine with a cow-cat combination. So I want you to pick up your chin and curl your tailbone up so that your back bows. This is our inhale. We're going to do the opposite. Tuck the tailbone in, round your back, draw your chin in towards your chest, and here we have cat pose. So we're going to start to flow from cow to cat. And I want you to give me 3 of these. Let's lift up. 3, 2, and then one more. 1, Very good. We're going to come into a neutral spine. We're going to go ahead and bend into the elbows and bring your forearms to the floor. Once your forearms are to the floor, I want you to press your hips back closer to your heels and hold it here for 2 belly breaths. One more belly breath. Excellent job. So we're going to begin with a pose that's called heart warming. And we'll get there by keeping our knees and legs in place, but walking the elbows forward and drawing your chest closer to the floor, pressing back into the hips. And we're pouring our body onto our mat. Think about a pitcher pouring the chest. So the longer we hold this, the closer the chest will sink to the floor. I want you to give me 3 slow belly breaths here, pressing back, 3 breaths. 2 more breaths. One more belly breath. Very good. Now carefully start to lift and shift forward. Excellent job. We're going to walk the elbows closer to your knees and fall back into what we call child's pose. Hips are closer to the heels. Walk the hands forward and bring your forehead to the mat to rest and let that sink in. Heartwarming. And it is designed for the heart. I like to think about it as a way to not only get the blood circulating and get the heart healthy, but to also pour almost the heart as far as your emotions. And taking this time to release anything that we're keeping inside just by taking this pose and breathing, sinking deeper into it. Let's take one more breath and then we're going to try heartwarming just one more time. Exhale, release. Very good. Now let's come right back up onto the hands and knees for tabletop. And I want you to bend into your elbows, bring your forearms to the floor again. And we're walking the elbows forward. As the elbows come forward, the chest sinks down and the hips shift back. And again, I want you to hold this for 3 belly breaths, breathing deeply. Pouring out. 2 more breaths. And this is really so important in prayer. We're really needing in prayer to pour out our emotions, to pour out all of the things that we're afraid of, that we're hurting by, that we're feeling angry and frustrated for. So this is another example of when we're pouring out to keep our peace. Good. So I want you to bend into your elbows, bring your forearms to the floor. And now we're going to build into the sequence. We have stretched and heartwarming. I want us to add staying on the forearms. Now let's pick up your left knee and start to extend the left leg. And I'm trying to unfold it and point the toes behind me. Good. Let's make one line from the foot to the hip. One more breath. Good job. Now I'm going to bend into my knee and bring my knees right back together again, side by side. And I'd like for us to do the same thing on the other side. We're going to start to unfold the leg. And as I unfold, my toes are pointing to the back of my mat. I want you to hold it here. One more breath. Exhale. Now we're going to bend into the knee and bring the knees back together side by side. Now I want us to kind of rest. So walk your elbows closer to your knees. Sink your hips back toward your heels. Walk the hands forward and rest in our child's pose. Face to the floor or the mat. 2 breaths. Good job. And one more belly breath here. Very good. Now, I'd like for us to come back up onto the hands and knees for tabletop. We're going to add on to this. Bending into the elbows. Let's land the forearms again. And this time I'd like for us to dig the toes into the mat. So both feet active here. Dig your toes. And when you're ready, we're going to pick up your knees and shift your hips back. Press the heels down, and they call this dolphin pose. I want you to give me another deep belly breath here. Excellent job. We're going to shift forward and softly bring the knees to the mat. Good. Shift the hips back towards your heels. Stretch through the fingertips. One more breath. Exhale, release. Excellent job. Now, I want us to come right back up onto the hands and knees for tabletop. Good. Let's take a deep belly breath here. Good. And we're going to try to do a little bit of a balance here on our hands and knees. So I want you to unfold your left leg, and let's keep this leg level to the floor. But I want you to reach your right arm and balance. Good. Give me one more breath here. Excellent job. Hand and knee come back to the mat. Same thing, other side. Unfold your leg and reach your opposite arm. Balance here. Cat balance. One more breath. Exhale, release. Very good. Hand and knee. Let's bring them back to the mat. And then I want you to rest. Sink your hips back toward your heels. Walk your hands forward. Forehead comes to the mat, and I want you to just rest here in our child's pose. Let's take 2 deep belly breaths here. One more belly breath. Excellent job. On your next inhale, we're going to come back up onto the hands and knees for tabletop. And I'd like for you to press away from the mat and bring your palms together, heart center. Excellent. So while we're standing on our knees, let's take a moment to start to make some checks for our alignment. Let's make sure that the knee is making a straight line to the hip, and the hip is making a line to the shoulder. And with our palms in front of the heart, I want you to give me 2 deep belly breaths. One more belly breath. Excellent job. Now, I'd like for you to step your right foot in front with one movement. Step. Excellent job. Palms stay at heart center. Let's bend into the knees and sink the hips down. Step and press the hips back. Very good. We're going to do 2 more of these. Sink the hips forward. Press and come back. Excellent. One more. Shift and come forward. Step and come back. Excellent job. Now I want you to whip this knee back in place. Very good. Now we're going to do the other side. So when you're ready, step your foot in front with one movement. Step. Excellent. Palms stay in front of your heart. We're going to bend into the knee and sink the hips down. Press and come right back. Very good. I want you to give me 2 more of these. 2 more. Forward. Press back. Excellent. Bend and sink forward. Press and come back. Very good. And let's see if we can bring this knee back in place. Excellent job. Now, I'd like for you to land your hands. So we're going to bring the hands in front for tabletop. Very good. I want us to rest in child's pose. Sink your hips towards your heels. Walk your hands forward and allow your forehead to come to our mat. We're going to rest here in our child's pose. Let's take 2 deep belly breaths here. Excellent job. And then one more belly breath. Very good. Now on your next inhale, let's come back up onto our hands and knees for tabletop. And I'd like for us to go into gate pose. So this is how we get into this pose. I want you to pick up your right foot and bring it off to the side. We're going to extend your left leg, keeping your toes on the mat. I want you to bring your palm to the center of your mat. And when you're ready, reach your arm up with the fingertips pointing to the ceiling. Now we're going to take this arm in the air and let it fall so your arm comes near your ear. Feel that deep stretch. Good job. Let's lift that arm right back up. Good. I want you to try that again. The arm falls and comes near the ear. Good job. And then lift that arm right back up. One more of these. Take your arm near the ear. And we're either going to stay here or you can hover your foot. Your choice. One more breath. Excellent job. Hands come down. We're going to bend into the knees. Bring your knees together side by side. Sink your hips toward your heels. Walk the hands forward and allow that to sink in. I want you to take your time with your breath and your practice this morning. 2 more breaths. Exhale and release. And while you're breathing, I'm going to be turning so that you can continue to be able to see a full shot of each pose. 1 more breath here. Exhale, release. Very good. Now let's do the same thing on the other side. We're going to come onto our hands and knees. I want you to pick up your foot, bring it off to the side. Extend your leg. Foot is on the floor. Replant your hand so that we can extend and lift up, balancing here. Good. Give me another deep belly breath. Inhale, exhale. We're going to draw the arm near your ear. Good job. And then lift your arm right back up. Good. Give me 2 more. Arms fall near the ear. Good job. And then lift your arm up. Good. 1 more. Take this arm near the ear and stay right here or float your foot. Very nice. Foot comes down. Hand comes down. Let's bring the knees together side by side, feet together. Sink the hips back towards your heels. Walk the hands forward and bring your forehead back to the mat. I want you to rest a little while. We're going to take 2 breaths in child's pose. Let's breathe. Good job. 1 more belly breath. Excellent. So we're going to do a variation of a sun salutation. And it's basically a really good way to continue to warm our bodies and prepare for our standing and balance sequences. So I want you to come back up into our tabletop. Good. Dig the toes into the mat. We're going to dig and pick up your knees and shift your hips back for downward facing dog. And then when you're ready, I'd like for us to step the feet together. Now we're going to try to do a 3-legged dog. Let's try it. Right leg lifts up, point your toes up as much as you can. Good. And then bring your foot to the floor. Last side, lift up your leg and point it up. Good job. Bring your foot to the And we're going to take it from down dog. Last leg, lift up that leg. Very good. And then we're going to bring this foot to the floor. Excellent job. Let's bend into the knees and softly bring your knees to the mat. Sink your hips back towards your heels. And we're going to rest again here in our child's pose. I want you to give me 2 deep belly breaths right here. Good job. 1 more belly breath. Excellent. And then on your next inhale, let's come right back up onto the hands and knees for tabletop. I'd like for us to dig the toes into the mat, pick up your knees, shift it back, down dog. And then we're going to tiptoe forward into a standing forward fold. Let's soft bend into the knees and then peel the spine up 1 vertebrae at a time until we are standing tall in our Tadasana. So I'd like for you to take a moment to get rooted into your feet. to have the palms in front of your heart. And we'll stand here for another deep belly breath. Then we'll get started in our warrior sequence. Breathing deeply here. Exhale, release. Excellent job. So let's step the feet nice and wide. Good. I'd like for you to take your left foot and point it to the top of your mat. Bend into your knees. Slide your heel out. Tee out your arms. Bend a little bit deeper, and we're in warrior two. Excellent. Let's lift up your arm for reverse warrior. Good. Flow back into warrior two. Keep flowing. We're going to prop this arm up against this thigh and keep that arm reaching over. Very good. Let's do two more of these. Come up. Warrior two. Lift your arm. Reverse warrior. Very nice. Keep flowing. We're going to go right back into warrior two. Keep flowing. Side angle. Excellent job. And then we're going to come right back into warrior two. Let's just do one more. Lift up, reverse warrior. Exhale, flow into warrior two. Keep flowing. We're going to lean into side angle. Very nice. Let's come back into warrior two. I want you to extend the leg, come up on the heel, draw the toes forward. Hands come to heart center. Give me a deep belly breath here. Exhale, release. Excellent job. Now let's come over to this other side. Point the toes to the ceiling or to the top of your mat. Bend into the knee. Slide your heel out. Take the arms out. Bend a little bit deeper. Warrior two on the other side. Lift your arms up. Lift up at the ceiling. Reverse warrior. Flow back into warrior two. Keep flowing. We're going to lean, side angle. Excellent. And then come back into warrior two. Now I want you to give me two more. Lift up, breathe in, reverse. Flow into warrior two. Keep flowing, side angle. And come back into warrior two. Now I want you to give me one more. Lift up, breathe in. Exhale, flow into our warrior two and then over to the side angle. Excellent job. Come back into warrior two. Very good. Now we're going to extend this leg, come up on the heel, draw the toes forward. Hands come to heart center. Inhale here, exhale. Let's forward fold. I want you to bring your hands to the center right here. We're going to press into this right palm and reach your left arm up, looking up at the ceiling. Excellent job. Bring that hand down. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Lift and reach. Very good. Bring that hand right back down. Now let's walk the feet in a little more so that we could circle the arms wide. Palms come together over the head. Hands come to heart center. Excellent job. Let's step the feet together. And I want you to forward fold. We're going to squat down low into a very low chair. Now, how do you modify for this? Maybe this is too much for the knees. We're simply going to bring the knees down, keeping the feet tucked. Either way, let's walk the hands back in place. And when you're ready, I want you to unfold the right arm. So we're going to lift this right arm up. Good. And bring that arm down. Same thing on the other side. Lift up this arm. And we can either keep one arm or we could balance and try to reach both. Excellent job. Let's bring the hands to the floor and carefully let's come right back onto our sit bones. I want you to extend the legs here. And from staff pose, we're going to get ready for this cool down and shavasana. So I want you to bend into your knees, plant your feet, shift your hips towards your heels, and roll your back flat to the mat. Here's where I want us to just rest. Slow down your breath. Give me two more breaths. And one more breath. Very good. Now we're going to take both knees over to the right. Let them stack. Keep your shoulder blades on the mat. Going into this twist, I want you to give me two breaths here. Arms resting by your side. One more belly breath. Excellent job. Now we're going to bring the knees back to the middle, bottoms of the feet flat to the floor. Same thing on the other side. Knees stack, shoulder blades stay on the mat. Go into this twist. Two breaths here. One more belly breath. Very good. Bring your knees back to the middle, bottoms of the feet flat to the floor. Now we're going to lift the feet off the floor, draw the knees into the chest, wrap. Good. And then we're going to finish this up by lifting the feet up into the air, grabbing hold of the feet, keeping your knees bent. And we're going to rock from side to side into our happy baby, massaging the middle of the back. Keep rocking for me and give me 2 more rocks. Excellent. And then 1 more rock. Very good. We're going to come back to the center instead of grabbing your feet. Let's grab hold of the knees. Press the inside of the knees together. And then we're going to circle both knees, massaging the lower back. Give me 2 more of these. Good job. And then 1 more. Very good. We're going to circle the knees in the opposite direction. I want you to give me 2. And then 1. Nice job. Keep the knees in place. We're going to unfold the arms and circle without using your hands for 2. And then 1. And let's do that again, opposite direction for 2. And then 1. Very good. We're going to come back to the center. Gently bring your feet to the mat. Come into butterfly, knees out, bottoms of the feet up against each other. And we're going to rest here for 2 deep belly breaths, breathing deeply. 1 more belly breath. Excellent job. And then inch by inch, let's slide the sides of the feet away until we can extend the legs and roll into the heels. Now, I want you to stay comfortable on your backs while we enter into our meditation. So we're in the pose called Shavasana. I want you to close your eyes and belly breathe and spend the next 5 minutes just thinking about how good God has been to you in your life. Go back through your life. Go back through times when He has saved you, when He has rescued you. I want you to remember that, because when we get overwhelmed with today's problems, we just have to remember how good He's been in the past to reassure ourselves that He will continue to be oh so good from now until eternity. So I'm going to watch the clock. Let's begin with these beautiful belly breaths and meditating on the goodness of God. Let's keep that going. And we're going to come together in our cross leg pose. I'd like for you to rest the hands on top of the knees. Let's sit nice and tall. Breathing in deeply. Let's press the belly out on the inhale. Exhale, release. Good. Breathing in again, pressing out, filling up. Exhale, release. Very good. On the next inhale, let's circle the arms wide. Palms come together over the head. Exhale, let them peel away. Good. We're going to do 2 more. Circle the arms, palms touch. Exhale, let them peel away. And 1 more. Circle the arms, palms touch. Hands come to heart center. Namaste means the God in me honors the God in you. I'm truly grateful for your practice this morning. I want to thank you so very much for logging in, and I want to invite you to subscribe to this channel. I would be very grateful that you would just use this as a resource for your health, your wellness, for the body, mind, and soul. Many blessings to you. Thank you so very much. Namaste and Amen.